Kevin, how did Cleveland treat you?
Perfect. You know, Ohio's a good place for me. I have 3 or 4 friends that I met in Hollywood. They've since moved back, and so I always had a really strong connection with it.
I was at the Indians game when they put up the celebrity look-alike on the Jumbotron. It was Kevin Costner next to, and then it was you.
Yeah, it was, and I tell you, I when I walked out, I got this standing ovation, of which I couldn't believe, and I was terribly moved by it. And I didn't want it to take away from the game, but people stood up and turned around backwards as I made my way out and drifted back into the city, which I love the stadium because it's part of the city. But I will just tell you that was a high moment for me, and I didn't anticipate it. I'd gotten there early just to watch batting practice. I was looking at my script. I didn't look up. Knock, knock, knock. About the 8th inning, I'd done pretty good, just staying pretty low key, and then there's my picture right across the Jumbotron, and so it was time to go. I didn't want to distract with the players, but when the stadium turned as one, I just felt like $1 million.
Be the Browns GM for me. Who do we take at 4?
I don't know. I'd have to be just sitting there, you know, pounding away with everybody. You know, really having a great understanding of my team. The franchise is moving around a lot right now. You know, new faces and things like that. I don't know, and so, you know, for those who say they do, good for you. But I don't know. I think everybody would like to see that team playing on Monday night and playing in the playoffs.
Sure. There's so much talk around draft time about intangibles and not really stuff that you see on the field. If we go back through the characters that you've played, speaking intangibles only, who would you draft in the first round?
Crash. I think Crash is a player coach. And I think he had a lot of toughness. And, you know, the thing about football is you got to try to beat the man in front of you. If each player beats the man in front of him, you're going to win. You're going to win. And that sounds a little oversimplified. But if you make the block, if you beat your man and everybody else is beating their man, you're going to win that game.
You have this great line in the movie, enjoy today because you only get drafted once.
Yeah.
Is there an acting equivalent to that?
Yeah, there is kind of. I mean, I can look back at my career and know exactly the moment when I thought things that actually had happened for me, where I was moving on the right track. And some people will look at high moments like Dances and Hatfield and McCoy's and Field of Dreams, certain kind of movies, but really it was a big chill for me. I knew that I was finally going the right direction. I came to Hollywood. I didn't know a single soul. It took me a long time to get started. Finally, the movie I'm in, I get cut out of. But I knew something important had happened.
Congratulations on the film.
Listen, I'm coming to Warren, Ohio. But the problem is I don't know where Warren, Ohio is to play music.
When are you coming?
I'm coming on, what day am I coming out there? I'm coming out there April 14th.
Okay. It's like an hour from Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm coming out on April 14th. I think it's a Tuesday. So I'm going to play some rock and roll.
Oh, well, hopefully
my brand, real loud.
Arian, I got to ask you, when this photo came out that Joe Hayden tweeted last year of you wearing the Browns jersey, what was the reaction in Houston?
It was hilarious, man. It was like you got traded to the Browns. It was like people really thought I was playing for the Browns. It was hilarious, man. But
Terry, I think people forget that you played in the NFL.
Yeah, as well they should. You know, because my highlight is I got knocked out on Monday Night Football. You can Google it. Terry Crews gets knocked out on Monday Night Football. Google it. It's right there. I was laid out, face down. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm so glad to be an actor right now. I can't tell you, man. It was a I played special teams. I went from team to team to team. And, you know, like I said, I don't expect anyone to remember me as a player.
Arian, how important is it for you to have the career you're having now despite going undrafted?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it kind of helped mold me into the person to the human being I am today. Like, you know, he was talking earlier how, you know, you can't let other people define you, and that's exactly it's what I want to teach my kids, and I can, you know, look to my story and say, you know, I was a prime example of that, and it's been a very surreal dream come true to me.
It must like just fuel you every time you go out there.
Absolutely, because, you know, in the back of your mind, even your own team that, you know, I play for now, or the opposing team, it's like none of them thought I was good enough, none of them, and they never think I'm good enough. So I'm getting hype right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, when we shot our draft scene, there were real tears shed. Because the emotion just came down. I like to call it post-traumatic stress disorder because it was a very stressful time that day. You know, I mean, when it comes back to you, it was no playing. There was no joking. It was not even a movie at the moment. And I think you can see it when you see the movie.
Arian, one of your former teammates is now a Cleveland Brown, Ben Tate. Tell me how he's going to do for the Browns this year.
I think the Browns got a great running back, man. He you know, it's hard. You know, he got drafted in the second round to Houston, and you know, he got hurt that year, and that's the year I led the league in rushing. But what he brings to the table is like toughness. I love his style. He's taught me a lot about myself. You know, he's one of my brothers, man. Like I wish him nothing but the best. It's hard sitting for that long, so he's hungry. He's a humble cat. Like I love that's my boy, man.
Can you also talk about your offensive coordinator who's now in Cleveland?
I said Kyle, huh?
Yeah,
my man Kyle. He was my first offensive coordinator in the NFL. He wants to run the ball. He's under that Shanahan regime, and he's a great offensive mind. I love Kyle, man. He gave me my first opportunity, so I'll forever be in debt to him.
And Terry, if you could, put on the Browns GM cap for me. Who do they take at 4 this year?
Who do they take it for? The Manziel kid from Texas A&M? I mean, that's the guy that I know. Now, again, I'm not good. I don't know.
You were in the show.
Listen, I would walk around like, and I would pick that guy. Because let me tell you something. As players, we all know that the draft is just a movie trailer. It's a movie trailer. It's not the movie. As players, you have to get on that field and produce. No matter where they draft you, no matter what, how many, I mean, they have movies about the busts, you know what I mean? So it really doesn't, it's all hype. It's all hype. I understand why they have to do it, but it's still hype. It doesn't matter. I would take the best athlete I could and make them play.
Character's named Brian Drew, having a great season until he goes down. The Browns had a quarterback named Brian Hoyer, having a great season until he goes down. Coincidence?
It is crazy, the coincidence. And then it's, you know, with the Browns, are they going to draft, you know, the next, you know, rookie sensation quarterback? There's weird similarities, yeah.
If you guys are the Browns GM right now, who do the Browns take it for?
Well, if Manziel's still around, I wonder what Kevin would say, actually. I wonder how he would answer that.
Manziel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you guys both think we should take Johnny Football?
Yeah, why not? If he's still around. He probably won't be there, though.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Help me out here. The Cleveland Browns are just, I mean, quite frankly, they're not good at football. What do they need to do to have a better season this year?
Well, it's funny. We shot a lot of this at the beginning of last year, and there was a lot of hope that the team had for themselves, and everybody's really excited, and things didn't pan out. But you know, I hope they can figure it out because the fans deserve it, and everyone on the organization was so welcoming to us and made us feel so happy. I mean, I'm rooting for the Browns now.
You must feel like the popular guy at this junket.
This is it's nice to see Cleveland painted in a positive light.
I know.
It's great.
We all loved being there.
Yeah, you guys look like you were having a blast there. Yeah, tell me how Cleveland treated you.
It couldn't have been better. I knew I'd love being in Cleveland. I went to school at Denison down the road in Granville, Ohio, and I'm from West Virginia, so it felt like I was going home. My roommate from college lives in Cleveland, so I felt very, very comfortable. My kids had a blast. We loved it there.
So you know how much the Browns mean to the people of
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Oh my gosh, the dog pound. I just fell for the passion this city has for their team.
I feel like your character plays a very important role in the film and really balancing out Kevin's character. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Allie she's Kevin's subordinate. He's the GM. She's the younger person with the job that isn't as important, but at the same time, she's the grown-up in their relationship business-wise, and she's the grown-up in their personal relationship. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic, and they have, you know, everything that's happening in their romance is coming to fruition on this day, and everything that's happening business-wise, same thing. So they have a pretty fraught day between the two of them.
Well, I love the film. Congratulations on it. And I think Cleveland loved it too.
I hope so. I mean, we all care so much about how the Browns feel, and certainly about Cleveland in general, because you couldn't have been warmer to us when we were there. We all had a great time in Cleveland.